What up, folks? It's your man AngGeon hitting you with a brand spanking new top 10 review. And today we got a list coming straight at you. This one's called Lyrical Nonsense. We're gonna hop right into it. But before we go any further, I want to give you guys a chance to go ahead and like the video, hit the subscribe button if you like content like this, and share it with somebody who might enjoy it. So let's just get right into it, man. Let me just say this beforehand. These are some of my favorite songs. They're coming from some of my favorite artists, and it's just these certain parts of the songs and the lyrics just made no sense to me at all, and leaves me scratching my head when I hear it, even though the song is a banger. But we're gonna hop right into this one. The first one, it's a classic song. It's coming from the 1999 album Chronic 2001 from my man Dr. Dre himself, and this one is on the song What's the Difference. This joint, it doesn't come from Dr. Dre, Eminem, or Exhibit. It actually comes from the hook from this guy named Fish. Not to be confused with the band called Fish from back in the 90s. This dude, I don't know where he is. If you guys know where his music is, you can go ahead and link it in the comments below, but I'm not too sure what happened to this dude. But he does say this line that never made sense to me on this song. He says, "I act on what I feel and never deal with emotions." Bro, according to that definition right there, emotions are feelings. So if you are acting on your feelings, you are acting on your emotions. So that always just made no sense to me, and it always makes me chuckle a little bit, like, whoa, what did you actually mean right there? All right, man, let's just hop up into this next one. It's coming from Young Hov, or Old Hov now, maybe. It's coming from the God MC himself. This one's coming from JayZ, and it's the song featuring Kid Cudi is produced by No ID and Kanye, and this one's called Already Home. It's from the 2009 Blueprint 3 album, and my man JayZ, he said something that just never made sense to me. I always thought it was kind of stupid coming from a smart person, but he says this, and I think it's his third verse. He says, "What the fuck, I'm an animal, half man, half mammal." Bro, if you know anything from biology, if you remember anything from third grade biology, you know that humans are mammals. So I'm not too sure what he meant, half man, half mammal. You're all mammal, bro.
It's your boy.
That's just always been one of the dumbest lines I ever heard from one of my favorite artists. And man, I still turn that song up. It's one of those joints that's like, you're banging out to it, and then you hear that stupid line, and you kind of like, oh. Anyway, we're gonna hop into the next one. Coming in at number 8 is my man Notorious Big. Rest in peace. This is from his 1994 debut album, Ready to Die, on this song called Me and My Bitch. My dude, he starts, you know where I'm going with this. You know where I'm going with this. My dude, he starts the beginning of his first verse, and he says, "You look so good. I'll suck on your daddy dick." And now that I looked it up and I actually understand, it's actually a reference to an old Richard Pryor stand-up that he did back in 1974, I think it was. Richard, pretty gay coming from Notorious Big. I don't know. They say that Richard Pryor was bisexual, so that's a thumbs up, bro. It's all good with me if that was the case. But Biggie, we're known as a heterosexual, and for you to say something like this, it's just like one of the wildest lines that we've ever heard, and it kind of makes no sense. Why do you need to suck a good-looking woman's fathers? Yeah, I don't know. If you guys have an answer to that, go ahead and put it in the comment section below, because that one never really made sense to me. Anyway, we're gonna hop into the next one. We got Ice Cube, another OG, another pioneer in the game, West Coast pioneer, my dude. This was coming from the 1995 Friday soundtrack. It's one of my favorite songs. Like I said, I bang this song probably every week. This one's actually the title track. It's called Friday. This is not the best sexual education that you're gonna get from a rap song. Granted, that's probably not the best place to get sexual education from, but my man, he says, "I don't trust the rubber because it's bound to bust. In the oven, in the nappy, I had on two, I was happy." If you know anything about sex ed or just using condoms in general, you know that you're not supposed to put on two. It's more likely to malfunction and break the rubber, ending up in maybe something that you didn't want to have, maybe. Yeah, so that one never made sense to me, and I'm pretty sure you know by now. You're in your 50s, yeah. So I'm pretty sure you know by now that line never really made sense, and it's always one that I kind of chuckle at because it's pretty stupid. Let me know what you guys think of that one down below. We're getting into the next one. This is coming from my man Kanye West. It's with the Young Thug feature on this one, Highlights, back on the 2016 The Life of Pablo album. My man Ye, he says, you probably know where I'm going with this one too. He says, "I bet me and Ray J would be friends if we didn't love the same itch. Yeah, he might have hit it first. Only problem is I'm rich." And man, if that is not like one of the biggest fallacies I learned back in like what, the 11th grade or something, that has nothing, being rich has nothing to do with the fact that he smashed your girl first, and it still stings you. And you saying that you're rich really doesn't matter because you guys are both rich. Even if he's richer than you, even if you are richer than him, yay, he still smashed you before you. And it's still kind of, so I don't know, man, that one never really made sense to me. I didn't really laugh when I heard it either. It kind of made me go, oh, you could have kind of kept that one, yay. Moving right along, we get into 2009 Six Kiss by the one and only himself, Lil B. And this joint is called I'm God. You might know this instrumental as the Clams Casino joint, but yo, I love this instrumental. It's so sick to me. But Lil B, he had some pretty crazy and wild lyrics because I think he was freestyling most of the time, but sometimes, probably most of the time, they didn't make sense. Maybe it made sense to him and the people who were based. Now he said, I can't be high robbing pussies with my dick out. And it sounds cool. It sounds cool. You know, the wordplay, everything. It doesn't really make sense. Like, robbing pussies with my dick out. Now, I don't know, man. Like, I get the whole robbing a pussy, but why do you have your dick out, bro? That's pretty wild, man. Anyway, hopping into the next one, it comes from my man, the West Coast legend, The Game. And it's from his first album in 2005, the documentary classic album. This one is produced by another one from our list earlier, Mr. Kanye West. This joint, Dreams. I don't know, the beat never really got to me like that. It never really was one that I was like, yo, turn on Dreams. But this part right here where Game opens up the track, the top of his verse, the top of the, yo, I never understood why he said this because it makes no sense if you look at the chronological timeline. It actually comes from an album that we mentioned here earlier. Anyway, Game says, I woke up out of that coma 2001, about the same time that Dr. Dre dropped 2001. But if we really look at that timeline in that chronological order, Dr. Dre dropped The Chronic 2001 in 1999. Game's coma was in 2001. So that coma came way after the album dropped. Never really understood what he was talking about right there. He just wanted to rhyme, really, but he probably could have worked out something better. Like I said, I'm not really the biggest fan of that track. I love Game, I love Kanye, but that one really didn't do it for me. And that line off the top just kind of made me, I'm gonna just go to the next track. Yo, so we're just gonna hop into the next one. This one comes from another classic icon, MC, whatever you want to call her. Her name is Missy Elliott. This one's coming from her 2001 So Addictive album. Of course, it's the biggest hit, Get Your Freak On. Love this song. Like I said, I love all of these artists on this list. I love all of these songs. I listen to them probably almost weekly. And I think these lines just never made sense to me. I wanted to share it to get your opinion on it and see if you thought they were funny or just stupid, whatever it is. Anyway, leave your comments below. We're gonna hop into this Missy Elliott song, this Missy Elliott lyric where she says, ain't no stopping me, copywritten, so don't copy me. That one never made sense to me because I think she meant copyrighted, meaning you can't steal the song or her flavor or the style. You can't directly jack her from what she's doing in her art, and there's no stopping her. But when she says copywritten means to write whatever somebody else has written down. It's just literally like pasting and copy, not copyrighted. Missy, I know what you're trying to get at there, but that one never really made sense to me. And if you look at it in retrospect, I don't think it makes sense to anyone. Anyway, we're hopping into the next joint. Getting to the close of this one, we're getting to the end of this really fast. This one is coming from the classic group NYC. Classic song, 1997, the album, Forever. You know what the group's name is, Wu-Tang. But this verse in particular, this lyric in particular, enter through your right ventricle. No, it's not that one. No. This one's coming from Capadonna. And yo, this one, it's always those stupid lines that kind of stick out to me. I don't know if he meant something that I'm just not catching. It's flying over my head. I don't get it. If you guys know what he's talking about, you can mention it down below. Let me know what he's talking about, because this one has always been kind of stupid to me. And it always makes me go like, what? Anyway, Capadonna, in this verse, he says, vocabulary Donna talking, tell your story walking, take cover kid, what? Run for your brother kid, run for your team. What? I get it, maybe a little bit he's trying to tell you that he's trying to intimidate you, like, hey, I'm coming after you with these lyrics, but tell your story walking. What? I don't know what that means. Do I have this lyric wrong? Am I not hearing this right? I got some hearing problems, so like real life, I got like hearing loss and tinnitus. But when I listen to this joint right here, it's like, bro, what are you talking about right here? And he kind of keeps going on with some stupid lyrics, but it is what it is. And you have a couple more parts from some of the other members in the song. They have some parts like that where it's kind of like a head scratcher, but I guess maybe it's just part of their lingo and their slang, something that we probably didn't understand. I'm from LA. I probably just didn't understand and don't understand that NY lingo, even though I'm a fucking hip hop head. That joint, it just never made sense to me. And like I said, this is one of my favorite songs. It's a classic song. I mean, it's Wu-Tang Clan Triumph. You know the one when they're on the buildings, climbing around like superheroes in all black, and the killer bees flying through NYC. That shit is fucking ill, but still, this lyric right here, it's never made sense to me amongst the whole verse pretty much. Capadonna, what the hell were you talking about? Anyway, we're gonna get to the close of my list. Number 1. You know what, these aren't really in particular order, but like I said, this is another one of my favorite tracks. It's more of a recent track. I know I just gave you a bunch of classic tracks, but this one right here comes from 2017's I Decided album by Big Sean, and this song is featuring Eminem. It's called No Favors. I'm not gonna go into Eminem's part. He has a couple of ridiculous lines in there, but I think Big Sean is known and it's pretty infamous when it comes to these silly and goofy bars or metaphors or punchlines that just kind of like cringe-worthy, and you hear it. But this one right here, he says on the song No Favor, he says it's not really that cringy compared to some of the other lyrics in the song or even on the album. I'll give him that, but this one right here didn't really make sense to me. He's talking, granted, he is talking about his grandmother, so rest in peace and no disrespect there, but this part, he says his grandma died and it showed him everything's a blessing depending on the angles. Me, being a logical person, everything and depending, those words, they don't really go together. And I'll explain why right here. Check it out. If I walk into a store and they say everything's free, depending on what you pick up, then that means that everything's not free. So that one just kind of, it didn't make sense to me. It still could be looked at in a positive way, or you could still gain some type of wisdom from what he's saying there. But anyway, that's my top 10 list as of right now. Of course, I'm gonna cook up another one like this, or another topic. Drop a topic below if you want to see me cook up another top 10 list. Make sure you guys hit the like. Make sure you guys comment if you got something to say about any one of these songs, your favorite, and let me know below if you want to see some more videos like this. Once again, it's been your man AngGeon Double G, us the folks. My top 10 lyrical nonsense. We're gonna hop into another one of these soon, and I'll be back streaming. I'll be back dropping some more videos. Stay tuned, subscribe, and thank you for tuning in and watching this video. I'm out.